Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Between the Covers. Tonight, I'm speaking with Jodi MacNish, author of Size Adventures, Pirate. Now, so hello, Jodi. Welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us about Size Adventures. What do we expect for this journey of a cute little snail?
Size Adventures is basically just Si using his imagination to be able to travel around the world and learn new things, really. Mm-hmm. It all began from a little squiggle I used to draw all over my schoolwork, so my teachers were excited about that. And yeah, then I wrote a little story about him for my nephew when he was born. And from there, it just kind of grew into 5 exciting adventures.
Well done. Yeah. So why a snail? What was the concept or construct behind a snail? Did you think it would be like a slower story, or?
No, it was just the easiest thing I could draw in the corner of my page, I guess. And yeah, just from that, kids love creepy crawlies. They love being outside, and yeah. I made him a little bit different, gave him one eye, and he still manages to have fun and do everything. So yeah, it doesn't let anything stop him, which I thought was pretty cool story to get out to kids.
Good on you. So is it something in the writing of this book that you wanted to do for a long time, or was it something you just had an inspiration for? You said you used to doodle him, but what did you decide, like, hey, I'm going to write this, I'm going to do this? When did you decide that was going to happen?
I really wanted to do a story or like a small book for my nephew. Because our whole family loves books, and I just wanted something that was from me for him especially. I shared the idea on Facebook and it kind of just blew up, and I went, I might be onto something here. So yeah, then it just grew and everyone kind of gave me ideas for more adventures, and it just got me really excited, like, hey, I can write more. I can share my work with other kids, not just my niece and nephew, and that got me really excited to write more stories and yeah, see where it takes me.
Oh, that's good. Did you find it difficult to have a lot of time to write? Did you give it a lot of time and thought, or was it something you just instinctively knew?
Just kind of flowed, which was pretty cool. I've always enjoyed poetry and writing. Like, my short stories used to turn into novels at school because I just kept going. So having the small short stories was probably the challenge in itself, just keeping them all kind of the same length. But no, I really enjoyed it. So it kind of came naturally and all kind of flowed from there.
Well, very good. Did you find that even though they're children's stories, did you find you still had to do that bit of preparing the plot or outline, or make sure there was some points and objectives? Do you feel that's important in a children's story to have an element of beneficial to the children's learning, or is it just?
Yeah, well, I wanted it to be fun. Like each of the books starts off the same, so kind of get the memory pattern going, which is a big learning curve for the kids as well, which is fantastic. But I wanted the stories to kind of have small lessons, and they can take like information away. So for example, in Pirate, they've got a little map that they get to follow the lines. Yeah. So that's a bit of like interactive, and mum can help, dad can help. So in each book, there's something that the kids can count or learn or do, and that was really important for me.
Oh, good. So now you said you doodled the picture, little Si was his little corner snail. So Kim Coffey did the artwork. You've hired her to do the full layouts. How was it to hand over an experience working collaboration-wise with an illustrator, with the idea in your head so sort of clear? How did you find that journey?
I've known Kim for a couple of years now, and she's done a couple of commission pieces for me, so it was really a no-brainer. When I started doing this, I knew straight away that I wanted her artwork for me. She kept in touch with me the whole process, like, how's this? And she just did such a perfect job bringing him to life. And it was just so exciting. And we're both on the same page, which was fantastic. Like, she's like, I just tried this, I don't think it worked. I'm like, oh, can we do this instead? Like, already got it. So it was exciting. It was amazing to see this little ink drawing come to life, and you could almost see him, but you can see his smirk and his just personality coming through off the page now. So it's just, it's been fantastic watching him, come to life.
Very good. No, it is an awesome little book. So tell me the goal of being a published writer, though. Like, you've always sort of doodled with it, you want to do something for your nephew, but now you've taken a big step into putting it into the big world, putting your hat in the ring with the authors of children's books. How have you found that process? How have you found that next step, the big step?
It's all very surreal to me. Like, I just wanted to do a picture book and have like a little photo book printed out and given to my niece and nephew. But like, for you guys jumping on board and giving me a shot, it's just been incredible. Like, you've shown me the book, it looks great, it still doesn't feel real to me. It's just been so incredible. There's so much behind the scene things that I had no idea about. But it's kind of got me wanting to write more. Like,
oh, good. Well, I hope so, because we want to see more of Si or other characters you can generally, I'm sure you'll be able to create.
Ideas are floating around already, so we'll see how these go. And
so with this sort of thing, this is interesting, because with children's books, like authors of novels and stories, they talk about writer's block. Do you think for children's books there's that element where you feel one day it's just not clicking, it's not inspiring, it's not really getting the message? You know what you want to say, but you can't say it in 2 sentences because, there's that element of children's books that have to be simplified. How do you fight that? How do you fight your writer's block or your writing challenges with that?
I usually just walk away. I don't force it. As soon as it feels forced, as soon as I feel like I'm writing the same paragraph 10 times and I still don't like it, that's me for the day. I just leave it. Then I go back over it and I'll phone my mum or I'll talk to Kim and I'll be like, right, I just need to see if this flows properly. And usually the next day I'll come back and be like, right, this is what I'm missing. This is better now. But as soon as you start to force it, that's when you're just like, nah, it's not working.
Did you expect that? Did you think children's books could be so challenging to write? Like, when you think about their simplicity in some degree, were you surprised by sometimes the complexities of them?
Yeah, it was a lot harder than I kind of thought. I'm like, well, because the first one was so easy to write. The second one came pretty good, but afterwards I'm like, oh, I need to get more ideas. Like, how do people write hundreds of pages? What's happening? But, once you kind of get the flow, then it keeps going, and then the challenge is to keep it, short and brief and to the point. Yes. And with a snail too. You don't want it to be too long and arduous for the poor fella to it's a long journey already. So, so what was your favourite children's books when you were a kid? What do you remember most of reading? I'm a Disney fan.
Fan?
Always been a Disney fan. I've loved all the Disney books, Disney movies. I've got Disney tattoos. Like,
oh wow.
I'm definitely Disney. I can't think of the books I read growing up.
So Disney did the golden books, didn't they?
The little golden books. So the Swan Lion and the little train that could. Yes.
So when you read books and you're inspired by other books and such, like, what do you enjoy most? Do you read children's books? You study them as an art, like to say, like, because you're now one of the elite authors of children's books. How do you, I guess, survey your territory of seeing the competition or the inspiration of others?
Well, I suppose that's where being an auntie comes in handy. I get to read all the books to my niece and nephew, and I've got a lot of friends with kids, so you read the same book 10 times, and my sister-in-law will vouch for this. She can recite a lot of the books from the top of her head because she's read them that many times. But it's good to kind of get the idea of this is a popular book, so this is what kids are looking at, this is what kids are enjoying now. And my nephew's very clear on it has to be this or it should be this, and kids are brutally honest, so hanging out with them has been really good.
They are. They'll hurt, unfortunately. You do your best. So with that in mind, what for you was probably the most difficult part of the artistic process that you found challenging?
I suppose trying to incorporate everyone's idea. You know, I didn't want to leave somebody's idea out. I wanted to make everyone happy, but I couldn't do that. So, and what hasn't been overdone, if that makes, you know, I still wanted it to be new. I still wanted it to be fun and exciting.
Yep.
But yeah, so that was probably it, finding new ideas that hasn't been.
So have you tested this out to people? Have you let some people have a read of some of the books other than?
There is a small group of people that have
What's the feedback been like? Are they happy with it? Are they encouraging?
I love it. That's why I've gone this far. My family have been so supportive, and they're like, yeah, you got to do this, you got to do this. So
well done. Good. No, you deserve it too. Like, you've done a great job. And for everybody watching, the book is available in February 15th. So make sure you go to it everywhere great books are sold. If they don't sell it, they're not a great book shop. So.
Exactly.
So when you're writing, how many hours would you say you spend? A day or a week? What time do you get to allocate to the craft?
It wasn't really hours. I kind of just sat down in half an hour or so and it was done. I should probably say I've put so much effort in.
Yeah, can we make that a little more dramatic, please? Can we have at least 2 days a week just to concept?
Just to get the ideas noted. No, I've always kind of been quick with the words. I write poetries and cards. I do funeral poetries for remembrance and birthdays, and I've always loved writing poems. I did drama in school, so I've written monologues, and it just sort of flows, which is awesome. But I'll find myself at work and I'll have to find a piece of paper because I'm like, oh, this is such a good idea, and I write it down. So
write it down, definitely. So I was going to ask the next question on that basis of, like, how much time do you allocate to writing a book, and then of course how long does it take you, like, to write a finished book, like when you're happy with it. But I don't want you to answer 35 minutes because that kind of throws the whole essence of the question out the window, that we're delving into some great architectural style of your craft, but yet really you're just flipping it aside. So we'll leave that question alone. So when did you realize that you first wanted to write and sacrifice so much of your lifetime allocated to writing?
I've always loved writing.
How old you were?
I was very young in primary school. I used to always come out of my room when Mum sent me to bed. I'll be like, Mummy, listen to this. Like, I've written a poem about Piglet. I've written a poem about Noah's Ark. Like, I used to just come out with all these different poems, and Mum's like, oh, very nice, dear. Now go to bed.
That's right.
I've still got them somewhere. I've kept them all, and so I was probably a little bit where I stopped writing. But then I started writing again. I just really enjoy it, like monologues, little sonnets. It's like all sorts of things. When you say that you've written like just short stories and poems, and you've done quite a diverse range of writing, what do you find easiest to write? Did you find the children's books or the poem? What do you find you get your real buzz, I guess, out of writing the most? Writing poetry. I really enjoy writing
poetry. Yeah.
All through primary school, I love short stories.
Yep.
Just being able to kind of put my take on things onto paper and just forget what actually is supposed to happen, and like, no, this is what is going to happen. This is my story.
Yeah.
I always loved the imagination, like the magic that writing brings. There's no rules when you're writing.
Not generally, no, just grammar.
Well, that's what you guys have to do. Right.
Just simple little bit of little rule. But anyway, so when you if you weren't writing, if you didn't want to be a writer, you didn't have all that talent and flair, where do you feel, hypothetically, of course, that you would put all your energy? What else would you do if you weren't writing, if you couldn't be a writer?
I do a lot of onstage work. I do a lot of work in the theatre. I used to want to be a drama teacher. Yeah. So I've always loved working with kids. I do a lot of onstage behind the scenes as well, and I'm always busy at work now too, working on the brain and with the ship. So it's not really much time to kind of stop and be like,
Okay, so when what do you do? This is an interesting question. What do you do what would you say is your writing quirk? Some writers write with bare feet, some writers write to certain music, some might do it naked. What is your writing quirk that makes you unique or has a little difference? We had one author who actually wrote on a phone. She actually wrote the whole novel on her phone, which was quite surprising. That's quite a quirk. Can you beat that one?
Well, I had quite a few notes written in the back of a Take 5 booklet at work. Take 5 is our safety book. So
a safety book about writing jot notes. Okay.
So in the back of that, I think I wrote half of the ocean. Take 5 books. So yeah.
There you go. So you basically just can write on anything that's around you. Is that your quirk? So really, you don't need to have a computer with you all the time. It's just anything will do.
The only reason I actually typed it up was so I could send it off to you guys.
Otherwise, it'd still be sitting in a pencil somewhere. Good to know. That could be worth money one day. Hang on to it.
Oh, definitely.
So what do you do when you're not writing and working? Like, what do you do socially? What do you do active-wise? You know?
Oh, I love the ocean.
Yeah?
Spend as much time at the beach as we can. Watch cricket, watch the footy when it's on TV. Camping. Outdoor stuff. You're
just an outstanding, typical Aussie lady who gets out and about and enjoys life. Yeah.
A couple of drinks with the mates after work. Yep.
There you go. That's the way it's done. So if you were talking to another writer or another friend and they said, I really want to do what you've done, I want to achieve what you've done, what would you tell them? What steps would you, or guidance would you give them?
First of all, just do it. Go for it. Do your research. I'd obviously recommend Shoreline Publishing Group because it's been...
Oh, that's a good thing. I like that idea.
It's been such a good experience going through you guys, but
good.
Yeah, definitely just do it. Because I never knew it would take off as fast as it did for me. Like, just give it a go. Good. If you think it's good, if you enjoy it, then someone else is going to like it as well. So keep doing it. Well
done. So as a child too, what did you want to do when you grew up? Which I know you probably haven't grown up yet, but like when you let me rephrase the question. When you grow up, what do you want to be?
I used to want to be a sports massage therapist and go work for the West Coast Eagles.
That is really out of sight of left field. I wouldn't have picked that. A massage therapist. Wow. Okay. So, isn't it great to have those young, youthful ambitions that end up being totally nothing of what you're doing in reality? I love that. Yeah.
Dreams are free.
So what's your plans for the next books, the future books? I know we've got Size Adventures. We've got a couple coming out this year. What else is going to come from Jodi? What are your plans for writing?
I'd love to do a couple of short stories, not necessarily rhyming.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a couple of ideas about friendship and jealousy and, all the fun stuff that kids get to go through at school. That's one thing I really want to do is write the feelings.
Yep.
And it's okay for kids to express them, but also be cute and fun and have the adults enjoy it as well, because they're the ones that are going to be reading it to their kids.
They're the ones that have got to sit through it too. Yeah, I agree. No, that's great. Well, that sounds exciting. We look forward to much more work on that level. So tell me, what would your writing kryptonite be? What just stops you dead in your tracks for writing? Is it your favorite TV show? Like you think, I want to write tonight, but gosh, there's a special on TV, I really want to watch it. Or is it some friend that just keeps
tired?
Just being
if I'm overtired, then it just doesn't work. I just can't be bothered. So
yeah.
I'll be fresh.
And you put so many hours of your day into writing. I know you said earlier that that sparing that time to really allocate your time to writing.
Like you're mocking me,
I'm not saying anything about the way you just have a gift to write things within such a short time. So tell me, what to you, if we can talk about given the effort you put into your books, what to you is your definition of literary success? When you define success, and for yourself, how would you say that you've succeeded as a writer?
Well, the fact that you guys wanted to take my book on, I already feel like I've succeeded because it's well and truly beyond what I was going to do with it. So quite a few of my friends have already done the pre-sale orders and just the excitement around town. Everyone asking for an autographed copy. I'm like, your kid's driving a car now, so they're not going to want this, but they still want it. It's unreal.
Yeah, good.
So I already feel like I've succeeded just getting this far.
Well, I believe you have too, and I hope everybody here watching believes you have too, because they're going to rush out and buy it and share it with their children, and tell their schools and their libraries. Tell everybody, please. Jodi MacNish's book is beautiful, it's fun, and it's available now, as I said. So, Jodi, thank you so much for talking with us. Thank you for hanging out and making us smile. So please continue to write, and we'll look forward to the next adventure of Si. So thank you, and good night.
Thanks.